Want to learn English while traveling the world through stories? This is your passport. Each story teaches you new words and grammar without even trying. Hit subscribe, drop a like, and come with me to the mountains of Bhutan, where one small mistake became a big adventure. She had always dreamed of seeing Bhutan. The quiet valleys, the colorful flags fluttering in the wind, the way clouds touched the mountain peaks like soft hands. And of course the monasteries, ancient, peaceful, and filled with history. So when she finally arrived, backpack on her shoulders and camera in her pocket, her heart beat with a quiet excitement. Her guide had told her there was a famous monastery just a short hike from their guest house. Tiger's Nest, she had asked. No, he had laughed. This one is smaller, less known, but very special. He drew a little map on a piece of paper. Go straight past the prayer wheels, then left at the big tree. You'll see stairs. Simple enough. The morning air was cool and fresh. She walked slowly, taking in every detail. The old stones under her shoes, the wooden houses with painted windows, the bells that chimed gently in the breeze. She passed the prayer wheels and spun each one with her hand, just like she had seen the locals do. Then she found the big tree, and next to it, a set of stone steps leading uphill. She climbed them. The forest got quieter the higher she went. Trees arched above like green umbrellas. She could hear birds and nothing else. No voices. No tourists. It felt perfect. At the top, a stone path curved toward a gate. She stepped through it. The monastery looked old but strong. Its red and white walls were decorated with gold symbols. A wooden balcony wrapped around the top level. Below, a courtyard held a tall prayer pole wrapped in colorful cloth. She took off her shoes and entered through the low wooden door. Inside it was cool and dark. A huge statue of the Buddha sat at the far end, eyes half closed in peace. Candles flickered. Incense filled the air. She felt calm, quiet. She wasn't alone. A few monks were sitting cross-legged on the floor, chanting softly. Their voices echoed through the room like water moving over stones. She stepped quietly to the side, not wanting to interrupt. But then something strange happened. One of the monks looked up. His chanting slowed. Then another monk turned his head. She smiled awkwardly and nodded, pressing her palms together in respect. But their eyes didn't soften. One stood up. He walked toward her. She thought maybe he was going to greet her or welcome her. Instead, he looked confused. He said something in Dzongkha, the local language. She didn't understand. She pulled out the paper map the guide had given her and showed it to him. He looked at it, then looked at her, then back at the other monks. He said something again, this time louder. Two more monks stood up. Suddenly, she felt very out of place. One of the monks pointed to the door and spoke firmly, not angry but serious. She nodded quickly and backed out of the room, grabbing her shoes. She didn't run, but she walked fast. Back down the stairs, past the tree, past the prayer wheels. When she reached the guest house, the guide was sitting outside with a cup of tea. She held up the paper and said, "I think I went to the wrong monastery." He laughed hard, deep and loud. "That one," he said, shaking his head, "is private. For monks only. No tourists allowed." She covered her face. "They probably think I'm crazy." "No," he smiled. "They probably think you're lost." She laughed too, now that the moment had passed. Later that afternoon, they walked together to the correct monastery. It was smaller than the one she'd entered, but open to visitors. Peaceful in a different way. She bowed deeply before entering this time. She never forgot that feeling. Not the embarrassment, but the quiet, the chanting, the scent of the incense. Even in the wrong place, she had felt something real. Sometimes mistakes take you where maps never can. Did this one surprise you? That's the power of story. You followed along, picked up real English, and maybe even felt like you were there. If you've ever ended up in the wrong place at the right time, share it in the comments. And make sure you're subscribed. There's a fresh story waiting every single day.